Yep, it's that time again. Porch Inspiration with Linda. Oh, I've got some good stuff for you today. And I've switched up my background here a little bit. Wanted to show you the tiny home door, I guess, and the window here. Yes, I have got some good stuff today. It's the PIWL show. Hope you'll join me. Well, thanks for being here today. Joining me on the Stepping Stone Retreat Porch. It is a beautiful day. The seasons are changing rapidly, but we've got a warm day today, so I'm really excited about that. I hope you have been enjoying these Porch Inspiration with Linda over the last few weeks. Just finished up the gratitude right in time for Thanksgiving, right? So, yeah. And now I dug out didn't really dig it out. It's on my bookshelf underneath the television, is an inspiration binder. Things that I've been collecting, and I organized into different categories. Things that I want to share with you over the next several weeks in this Porch Inspiration. We started out, I guess it's been 5 weeks, and I shared with you, 15 things to create a positive life, like smiling and saying thank you. Got to go back and look for that in the playlist if you are new and haven't been here for the Porch Inspirations on Sundays. And then the last 4 weeks was on gratitude, so I just really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. And I hope you are enjoying Rut to Revival. Just looking forward to your comments, what you think, putting comments on Amazon. Of course, just remember the rule of thumb: if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? But no, I really hope you enjoy it. I want to hear what some of your favorite parts of the book are too. So anyways, with no further ado, today, and I've got my notes here, I don't have this memorized. This is called Top 10 Life Lessons. And I wrote this, actually. It has it right down here at the bottom. Can you see? Yeah, by Linda, Simply Said Messages, copyright 2015. Simply Said Messages was before I started Say It, Display It. I was taking sayings mainly off of Facebook and laminating them, putting magnets on them, and selling them at arts and crafts shows. Go figure. I was selling tons of them. I think they were like 3 for $10, or I don't remember, $4 a piece. But I had them all categorized by different topics, whether it be gratitude or self-help, or I can't remember. But you'd come up to the table and you would search through all these sayings, and they had magnets on them so that you could put them on your fridge, or they had sticky dots if you have a stainless steel fridge, and people just ate them up. So that was Simply Said Messages. And then came Say It, Display It, the real deal, where I got into gift shops and have been selling them across the country. And I hope you enjoyed that gratitude collection. I'm really sorry that I'm out of it now, but hopefully in the next few weeks, maybe I can get it back in stock. But in the meantime, remember I showed you how you could make your own collection on index cards, right? It's not going to be as pretty, but it'll still be effective, and that's the most important part. All right, top 10 life lessons. Now, I'm 64 years old. I think we get a little wiser the older we get, don't you think? At least I hope so. If you're paying attention to past mistakes, learning from them, moving forward, you can really get some life lessons within you that can be very, very helpful. And I'd be interested in hearing what some of your life lessons are too, because I'm sure that you have many that I have not covered here. All right, there's 10 of them. So with no further ado, number 1 is love yourself so others can love you. What does that mean? Love yourself so others can love you. This is really off the top of my head. This is Porch Inspiration. This is not pre-planned. When I was first married and into my marriage, I didn't really love myself. You know, low self-esteem, that kind of thing, early 20s. So if you don't love yourself, how can anyone else love you? That's kind of, it's simple, but it's very deep too. But you absolutely have got to love yourself so that others can love you. Number 2, keep your chin up when things are not going right. That sounds a little old-fashioned. I think that probably comes maybe from my mom. Keep your chin up, Linda. It's going to be okay when things are not going right. And that means don't hang your head and poor me, but just, you know that tomorrow brings a new day, and just keep your chin up and hope for, better days. Look up instead of looking down. To me, that's what keep your chin up means. Just hold on to that hope. Number 3, ask yourself, what would Jesus do? You're in a situation, maybe a confrontation or some not so good feelings about somebody, and you don't know how to interact with them, or you don't know how to approach them, or you just don't know what to do. Remember back in the 80s, I think there was those wristbands that said, what would Jesus do? I think that's still appropriate. And I visualize, you don't have to wear the bracelet, but it can be up here. Okay, Linda, you want to say something to this person. What do you want to say? Well, what would Jesus do? Number 4, take a dose of healthy selfish every day. Gives you energy for the tasks at hand. What do I mean by that? A dose of healthy selfish is not always, I'm always doing for others and I don't have time for myself. If you don't take care of yourself, who's going to? So if you take a dose of healthy selfish, I need to take a nap. Take a nap. Then you're going to have energy for other people. You're going to have energy to get things done. So always take a little bit of time, even if it's only 10 or 15 minutes for yourself. That's a dose of healthy selfish. Number 5, don't try to please everyone. You'll end up pleasing no one. Pretty self-explanatory. And put in the comments, can you relate to that? You've been a pleaser all your life. You want everyone to be happy. It's impossible. It's impossible to please everybody. So once you internalize that, and once you believe that, you won't try so hard to please everybody, because it's not going to happen. Number 6, don't let others put you down, curse, or blame you. You'll lose respect for yourself, and you won't get respect. Don't let others put you down, curse, or blame you. I don't know that I need to elaborate on that too much, but if someone's coming at you and they're saying this, that, and the next thing, and it's not good, it's just going to bring you down. Bring you down. You got to tell people, hey, sorry you feel that way. That's, that's how you feel, but that's not who I am. Don't let people curse you or blame you. Think about these things, review them a second, third, fourth time, so that you can really understand. Because each of these that I've written here, they can be a whole psychology in themselves, but you just don't let people tear into you and stand there and take it. You don't react to reaction like that, but you put a stop to it. That's boundaries. Boundaries. It's a whole book too. Cloud and Townsend, Boundaries. Love that book. It was a bunny trail. Number 7, follow your intuition and listen to your God-given inner voice. Follow your intuition and listen to your God-given inner voice. Well, I'll tell you, that really came in handy as a nomad. People were like, and I wrote in my book about this, faith over fear. And when you don't feel something's right, listen to your God-given intuition. And remember, we go back to these are top 10 life lessons, things that I learned in my life, and now I implement and I use and I pay attention to. Number 8, don't compromise your standards. There will be people you meet who will try to get you to lower yourself. Now, why would anybody want to do that? Well, people who don't think too highly of themselves, people who have been hurt, people who are angry, carrying around low self-esteem, carrying around grudges, they are going to try to get you to their level because that's the level they can relate to you on. So don't compromise your standards. You've got high standards. That doesn't mean you're prudish. That doesn't mean you're stuck up. Not at all. Not at all. It's thinking highly enough of yourself that you're not going to compromise your beliefs, your ways of, your things that are important to you in order, to be able to relate to people who want to bring you down. I hope that makes sense. Number 9, when faced with painful decisions to change some aspect of your life, you can choose to hurt now or hurt later. Let me give you an example. You need to put boundaries on a relationship, and you just don't know how to tell that person that that you recognize this unhealthiness and you can't accept it anymore, and you feel that there's conflict in the relationship, whether it be a family member, whether it be a friend, a coworker, and it's hurting you. It's hurting you how you're being treated. It's hurting you, in your day-to-day life, how you feel, how you interact. It's stealing your joy, all kinds of different things. Well, if you take a stance and you decide, I'm not going to live in that, whatever it is, if it's chaos, if it's confrontation, if it's tension, you're just not going to live there anymore. And for lack of a better word, removing yourself, kind of like cutting yourself off from that situation or that person, it's going to hurt in the short term. But you can choose to do that. You can choose to make these healthy changes now and feel the hurt and go through it, or you can drag it on for years and years, and then you can hurt later. It's important when you want to have a healthy self-esteem and you want to have a good self-assurance about yourself, and you want to think positive, and you want to be around those kinds of things. It's really, really important to pay attention to decisions you're making. And when I got divorced, feels like a lifetime ago, I was in intense marital counseling, and it was time for for us to counsel together. And long story short, he wasn't interested. He was done. And so I had to make a painful decision. And even though God hates divorce, and I really didn't want to do it because I worked really hard to try to save the marriage, it just wasn't going to work. And so I made a painful decision to leave. So I hurt then rather than dragging it on and hurt later. I hope that makes sense. Excuse me, I am getting that tickle in my throat again. You know, it's so beautiful around here. But I don't know if it's like a new little allergy tickle or something. I don't know. I feel fine. I feel great. And then lastly, number 10, always do the right thing. You know, these are ongoing. These are ongoing. I don't have this all down where, what would Jesus do? And I don't even have to ask myself that anymore. I just, I got everything right. Painful decisions. You got to think these things through. You got to work through them. Always do the right thing. Do I always do the right thing? No. But do I pay attention to doing the right thing? Yes. And that has to do with experience. That has to do with living life. That has to do with learning and growing and choosing to be around healthy people and positive people and paying attention, Somebody says, brings up something, some of your best friends can bring up your faults in good ways to help you to see things differently and to change behavior and to become a better person. So I'm a work in progress. I'll be a work in progress till I die. I embrace that. I think that's exciting because, gosh, if you continue to learn and grow, we're just getting closer to knowing what Jesus would do. And I like to be refined, and I'm the furthest thing from perfect. I can be judgmental. I can be too hard on myself. I can criticize, but I do know that I pay attention. I pay attention and I try to do the right thing. Not try, but really, really put forth effort. So I know this is really a mishmash of the top 10 life lessons. I hope you enjoyed these. I hope you've got some, good food for thought. And I'd really like to hear in the comments, which ones of these struck a chord with you. Not asking you your personal business and to share an example, but what is something here that you might put some effort into improvement? So with that, you know the ending. Unless you're new, welcome. Blessings in your day and joy in your personal growth and joy in your journey.